Getting out of the sand is one of the biggest challenges for a lot of players, especially when the result is worse than the original situation that you found yourself in. If you're struggling out of the bunkers, well, this video is for you. I'm going to show you one valuable tip that will ensure that you hit the sand with enough speed and get that ball out every single time. Let's get stuck in. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Kerrod today in the sand at Joondalup Resort. I've found myself with about a 15 or 20 meter shot. And in today's lesson, we're going to be talking specifically about eliminating the shot when the club comes in and hits the equator of the ball, the middle of the ball, those nasty shots where the ball shoots a mile over the green. If there's trouble over the back, there's water out of bounds, more trees, very frustrating considering you're already in some trouble and then you've just compounded the error. That right there, that's how we see players start to rack up some big numbers. So in this video, I'm going to show you a great strategy to employ in your setup and a single swing thought throughout the motion that is going to ensure at least you're hitting that sand, giving you enough speed to get the ball out onto the green. Now, before we get into today's content, please go down below, click subscribe, click that bell so you get notified of every single video that comes out. We're going to be covering a wide range of topics, not only the swing, we're going to be talking about effective practice, drilling in some exercises to improve your overall motion. Today we're doing bunkers, we're going to do pitching, the whole lot. We're going to become one of the most comprehensive channels out there in regards to helping you improve your game, and I'm excited for what lies ahead. We're going to be putting out as many videos as possible to help you alleviate those frustrations and shoot some lower scores. Also, if you want some personalized assistance, I'm also available. I do all my online coaching through a great app called Skillest. It is the game-changing app that's helping a lot of players from all around the world improve their swings. I'll post a link down below. All you need to do is send me whatever part of your game you're struggling with, be it your putting, your chipping, your bunker play, like we're doing today, or even your full swing. I get a lot of those. You can simply send them in. I'll give you personally prescribed drills and exercises standing in front of the camera like this, giving you a great understanding of what you as an individual are doing. It's one of the best ways to improve. If you don't have a coach in your immediate area, or you simply just like the way that I present the information, I can help you in every single way to help lower those scores. So in today's lesson, however, we're going to be helping all of you with ensuring that we're not going to hit the equator of the ball, one of the most annoying shots as a result, where it just flies a mile over the back. Now, in bunkers, it's important to understand one thing. Our objective is to not hit the golf ball. Even that concept in itself, if we think about it objectively, well, bunker play effectively is the easiest part of golf. It's the one time where we make a swing and we don't actually hit the ball. What we're looking for is to create enough speed and momentum where the club enters the sand, propels that ball out, and as a result, we get the shot that we're looking for. We're not actually trying to hit the golf ball. So the way that we set up to encourage that sand contact first is of absolute paramount to help us get that consistency out of the sand. So I'm going to show you some setup strategies and a single thought through the ball that'll ensure that we're not going to hit the equator of the ball. So understanding, number one, that the club needs to enter the sand, let's talk about controlling what's called the bottom and bounce of your golf swing. So the bottom is the bottom of the swing arc. The golf club in every single shot in golf comes down, 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 has a bottom, and then rises again. And the bounce is what we call the sole, this part right here. This here, well, this is called the leading edge. That is the part of the golf club that we are looking to avoid. The leading edge is what digs into the ground. It creates these shots where the club digs and stomps. It's also the part that's going to hit the equator of the ball and send it a mile over the back of the green, which in today's video, that's what we're specifically covering. So we need a bottom of the golf swing, which is underneath the ball with enough speed, which is going to help it out. We also want to ensure that we hit the sand first. So setup wise, what we're doing here, we're just going to draw a line in the sand as a reference just for ball position in regards to our feet. So knowing that the bottom of the swing arc right? The low point, the bottom of the arc needs to be underneath the golf ball, and we need to hit the sand first. We need to set up in such a way to promote that. So we're going to get a wide, low base. I like to see the feet flared. We're going to get the ball position on the instep of the lead foot here. Now, as a result of doing so, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to shift our upper body towards the target. And we're going to do that by leaning our shirt buttons in the direction of where we want the ball to go. So you can use this as a reference just from dangling this right above where your shirt buttons are on top of the ball. And we can see that my lead leg is flexed in this position. This is crucial for what we're going to do throughout the motion to ensure that we hit the sand. So we've got a wide low base, much wider than what you would do with a driver, and flex knees. At the end of the day, the club needs to hit the sand. If I'm standing narrow and tall, I'm less likely to hit the sand. So wide, low base, this is going to make us very stable throughout the motion. Ball position forward. The more forward I have the ball position, the more likely I'll hit the sand first, which is what we want to do. The further back, the more likely I'm going to hit the ball first. So as we set up into this position here, ball position forward, wide, low stance, we're shifting our shirt buttons on top of the ball. Right now, because my arms are in front of my body, this is going to encourage the low point or the bottom of that swing arc to be at the ball, so at the ball. Now to get it underneath, this is where we need to stay low. If I was in this position but tall, well, I'm simply going to hit the equator. So I need to lower myself down into the ground. So we're going to have more flex. We're going to feel like we're squatting really down into the ground. We don't need a lot of rotation and movement off the golf ball in a shot such as this. So we don't need to worry too much about providing this ability to rotate. So let's flex those knees. Now from here, one important thing to remember is that we don't want the handle leaning forward. That can also encourage to hit the equator of the ball. So the handle is going to be more towards the center of the body, and the face is going to be open just a few degrees in this direction here to encourage the sole of the golf club. That's what's going to help it blast through that sand and glide without digging and stopping. So wide, low stance, shirt buttons on top of the ball. Now from here, to get into this position to ensure that you're in the correct spot, the easiest thing to do is grab your left hand for the right hander, or flip it around if you're a left-hander, and place it on the kneecap like that. Now, as I do so, you can see this cements me into this position. I've got my nice forward ball position. I've got my shirt buttons over the ball, but my left hand on that left kneecap, well, that is simply just going to make us set into this position. Now, the key from here is to ensure and to feel that we're not going to move at all. If you're a player who struggles with contact, getting your weight forward, getting the ball forward, getting low, we need to stay down through the shot. As soon as we start to jump up, extend, body lifts up, knees straighten, that's where the worst shots are going to result. So we've got all our weight forward, hand on that left knee, chest over the ball. Now from here, to encourage that club to come out, most players are under the assumption that they need to help the ball out. Well, that's the whole point of getting this set up, is so that the bottom of the swing arc is underneath the ball. And then from there, if we have enough speed, the ball's going to shoot out. So we're not going to turn, we're not going to rotate. We're going to imagine our head is staying in a bubble as we set up. We're into this nice wide low position. From here, we're going to keep our head very stable. And most importantly, this is the big tip for today's session, is to keep that lead knee flexed. That is your one focus point. As long as we have enough speed and keeping that lead knee flexed, you'll find it is very easy to get that club working underneath the ball. As soon as that lead knee straightens, the body's going to lift up, the chest is going to fall back, and the club is more likely to hit the equator. You can see where that ball was positioned. The club entered the sand a couple of inches behind, went underneath, and then exploded out. Don't confuse things. Don't think that you need to hit the perfect amount of distance behind the golf ball. At the end of the day, if you get yourself low enough and you ensure that you've got enough speed of that club working through, it's going to ensure that the ball comes out. Now, when you're going through this process, one other challenge that we see with players is that they don't create enough speed. The best way to think about it once you're set into this position with your hand on your left knee is to try and get the club head traveling a long way. We're going to get the club head traveling all the way up here in the backswing so you can grab onto that shaft, and then all the way over here as well. We're going to create a big L-shaped structure on both sides. Try and finish with the club head above your own, and that enables us to create the speed to ensure that we can get out. Just be mindful, once again, that that lead knee is staying flexed. So if you're struggling in the bunker, the club is bouncing into the ball, you're hitting the equator, let's get into this setup position where we're wide and low, focus on keeping that lead knee flexed through the entirety of the shot, and it can really ensure that you get out of the bunker each and every time. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you've got any questions at all, please ask me below. But until next time, I'm Kerrod. Thanks for watching.